Hey guys, I'm here. We'll try this again today. I want to say hi to everybody out there. Wherever, if you type something in, make sure you tell me where you're at. I kind of want to know where people are at. Looks like I got one person watching right now. Hello, whoever you are. I wanted to try today to go over the changes on the 2021 Volkswagen lineup for the US, at least how it stands for our dealership. You probably hear my printer going off next to me over here. Sorry about that. It prints kind of slow, but I'm printing off a change guide here so I can go over all of the things that we got going on. The cars that I'll go over today are the 2021 Arteon, the trim level comparisons, and then also do the GTI, the GLI, the Jetta, Tiguan, and 21.5 Atlas. 21.5 Atlas is kind of confusing for people because they're like, what's the difference from 21? It just got refreshed. So not understanding what the differences are there. But we'll start off with the 2021 Arteon. There's going to be 3 trim levels for this car. There's going to be an SE, an SEL R-Line, and an SEL Premium R-Line. Gone is that 20-inch black wheel that everybody loves, that little turbine wheel. Some things that are changing on the 2021 Arteon is the light bar at the bottom, the LED, the running light that goes down the side, also has a light bar that goes into the VW logo on the front. So that's going to be cool. They're still going to do front wheel drive and all wheel drive for different cars. All wheel drive will only be on the SEL R-Line and the SEL Premium R-Line. We do have one of those coming, so as soon as that car comes in, I will make a video of it. That is in Houston. It hasn't been released yet. They're holding on to it for a little bit, so not sure when that's going to come in, but we will have that car. It's in Urano Gray. It's an SEL Premium R-Line, so stay tuned for that one. I figure probably, I hate to say it, it's probably going to be a month out before I can make that video because they tend to hold on to those cars down at the port. For whatever reason. So the SE Arteon will come with LED running lights and headlights still, so no change there. Leatherette seats, heated front seats. It does also have a new wheel called a Valdemasa, which is kind of like a GTI wheel. I don't know if you can see that there, right there, that wheel right over there. So that's the wheel that one's going to come with. Also, the 19-inch diamond turned alloy wheels from Montevideo will come on the SEL R-Line. We won't be getting one of those anytime soon. The Arteon is a really, really slow seller for the U.S. market, at least for our dealerships in the Midwest. We tend to hold on to those cars for a little longer than we'd like to. There's just not a lot of buyers. There's just not a lot of press behind that car in the US. That car doesn't really get the love it deserves. It's a gorgeous car. It's a great car. Performance wise though, it still falls behind it falls behind an Audi or something like that. When you see a car like that, you tend to expect the Audi type performance, and that car it doesn't deliver Audi type performance. It's a Volkswagen. So it's a great car. The Napa leather stays with the SEL R-Line and the SEL Premium R-Line, so you can get that in both of them with memory seats. The R-Line package is only on those 2. You cannot get the SE R-Line anymore. The big deal here, though, is it does gain wireless charging. It also gives you lane assist, area view, park assist, all of those things there, traffic sign recognition. All of those things are upgrades for the SEL Premium R-Line that it didn't have before. Adaptive cruise control is on the top 2 trims. Lane assist and light assist is also on both of those. Another big change is they're going to have the USB charging for rear seats. I think they're going to get USB-C just like everything else. Hey, Sams, how are you, sir? I'm hoping that's a sir. Sorry about that if you're not. 1069, where are you at? And then also 8-speaker sound system. The big change for the Arteon, Harman Kardon audio for the top of the line one. Harman Kardon speakers, panoramic tilting sunroof. I'm just going over some of the things here that change. Heated rear seats are staying the same too. So when that car comes in, that video comes in, or when that car comes in, I'll make a video of it. That'll be exciting, and it's in Urano gray. Our dealership has been, I don't know what it is about Volkswagen, but we never got any of the cool colors like the curcuma yellow or the Atlantic blue. We just got Urano gray. Minneapolis, hey, how you doing? Urano gray. We've had manganese gray, and we've had there was another gray that we had, but it wasn't the Urano. Actually, I guess it was the Urano gray. Urano gray is a great color. If I had to choose between the pure gray and the Urano gray, I am not sure which one I would choose. The pure gray looks great on the Cross Sport and also the GLI, but that Urano gray, when it was on the Golf R and also on the Arteon, just absolutely amazing. Now that I've touched on the Golf R, I guess, I don't know. We don't know if that's coming to the US or not. I would assume so, but we've assumed before that we were going to have a 2021 Golf R. Never did. We thought the 2021 Golf family was going to be the MK8. It's not. It's an MK 7.5 still. The Golf, I won't even go over the Golf. It's just, there's just not a lot of people interested in that. Still a 1.4, still a turbo. And it's a Golf. It hasn't really changed since 2015 that much. Still has halogen headlights and LED running lights. A lot of people hate on that. Understandably so. Halogen is like an outdated technology. Everybody's going to LEDs. So I'm guessing with the MK8, we will go to an LED headlight setup. It looks like Volkswagen's going that way on all their refreshes. That would include the 2022 Tiguan. It looks like it's going to also have that new refreshed front end that everybody's been talking about over in Europe and assumed that the 2021s we're going to have here. Moving on, the GTI. GTI has 3 trims. Cornflower blue is back. Azim, how are you, sir? The new Honda Accord. I'll have to say this. I've seen some on the road. Pretty cool looking car. I think it reminds me of an Arteon all day. I haven't seen the newest version of it. I've seen what I've seen on the road. I'm not sure if it's a 2021 or if it's a 2020. I don't follow Honda that closely. I used to be a Honda guy. Between me and my wife, we had 5 Honda Civics. Thought we were going to die in a Honda, really. So I was a Honda guy before I got a job at Volkswagen, and I've been Volkswagen ever since. But 315 horsepower GTI, absolutely. Can't wait for that one either. That is coming. I'm assuming that's going to be with the MK8 rollout for 2022. But this 2021 model still has the same old stuff. 228 horsepower, black Pretoria wheels on the SE. The Autobahn's going to have this new Belvedere tire. If you can see that right there, that is the Belvedere tire right there, or wheel right there. Pretty cool. But the black Pretorias, I'm excited about that. That's a big deal. That one's coming back. White silver stays around for the GTI. You can still do a white silver metallic, which I think is a great color for the GTI. I wish they kept it on the Tiguan and even on the Jetta, but for whatever reason, they only leave it on the GTI for now. Let's see here. They're the same design, just a few upgrades to the wheels. Okay. Yep. That is true. The GTI still has the LED headlights, LED fog lights. The Autobahn will have the adaptive cruise control, the lane assist, blind spot monitoring, all of that stuff. But I'll be honest, I would love to have an Autobahn, but a GTI is a driver's car. I'm not really digging having all those safety features, all the driver assist features on a GTI. So I may just stay in that SE category. Yeah, I would love to have Fender audio. It still has Fender audio, the 12-way power adjusted seats. No digital instrument cluster, doesn't get any of that stuff. I wish they would just do a digital cluster for every car now. It's just where everything's going. I'd love to actually see some integration where Apple CarPlay and Android Auto could be played in the digital cockpit as well behind the steering wheel. I don't know if we'll ever get to that, but those are things that I would like to see. The GTI, though, does have the S. It'll keep the Dallas wheels. It'll still keep the Clark plaid seats, and a power reclining and manual seat, so it's partial power. The halogen headlights stay on the GTIS, but it does have LED fog lights, so you keep fog lights on all 3 GTIs. The DRLs are going to be LED on the SE and above to the Autobahn, and in the cornering lights, the LED fogs with cornering lights. So the other thing is, I'm not sure when Volkswagen's going to just go to LED fog lights on everything. It'd be nice if they did. So you have LED headlights and LED fogs, but right now they still like to do that halogen LED combo, which seems a little different than most of the competition out there. Any questions about the GTI? Hazim, if I bought the Arteon, I'm all in. It's going to be an SEL Premium R-Line. That's a price tag that I'm not quite ready to jump at, though. Even with the employee pricing, I can't see myself doing that. I might lease something like that if the price were right. But I have a wife and I have kids, and I have this house behind me here that someone's got to pay for. So I'd probably be living in the garage if I decide in that car, if I decided to get that car. Apple CarPlay, absolutely. Apple CarPlay is the bomb. Android Auto's right there with it. Of course, Apple CarPlay is plug and play, and now it's going to be wireless for the 2021 models. Apple CarPlay wirelessly, I'm excited to see that. We do have 2021 Tiguans that have that, and I haven't played with it yet. But that's something that I'll do, and I'll make a video of that as well. Let's see here. Let's see. The Autobahn GTI, I wanted to make sure I went over everything on that. Nothing really changed there. It gets, those wheels, the 18-inch alloys that are Belvederes come with summer tires. So the Autobahn will come with summer tires. It won't come with the all-season tires. So that's a big difference there. Let's go to the GLI here. Yeah, the price is definitely high on the Arteon. It's just, that's why we don't sell them. If they were priced like a Passat, we'd be selling the hell out of those things, and they'd be everywhere. But since they're not, they're Volkswagen's flagship car. Yeah, they're just, the buyer for that car is an Audi buyer, and an Audi buyer wants a lot more for their money. They want the performance, they want the colors, they want the Nardo gray, they want all that stuff. Volkswagen's there on the colors, and the look of this car is just, it's not competitive price-wise in the American market where it should be. The trouble is the American market wants their performance. They want those things, but they don't want to pay for it. So when you have a car like that, here it is, but no one wants to pay for it. But it doesn't have enough performance either for those people. So it needs to have a V6. Brazelton wheels are my favorite on VWs. Absolutely. That wheel, you didn't spell it right, but we know what you're talking about. So the Brazelton wheels, as soon as those came out on the SEL Premium Atlas for 2019, we knew we had a hit on our hands, and it changed everything. It changed the dynamic at the dealership. The 2019 Atlas SEL Premium came with those, or the 20-inch wheel. No one wanted the 20-inch wheel unless they were black. They didn't want the silver wheel unless there were some people that were happy with these silver Maharajas, if I pronounced that right. But overall, the 21-inch Brazelton, and they call it an R-Line wheel now, was absolutely the hottest. Now you can get that on the SEL R-Line and the SEL Premium R-Line Atlas. That's the only wheel they come with, and we can't keep those cars in stock. If they're the right color and the right interior, they're just gone. Case in point, we have 14 SEL Premium R-Lines coming to us. I already have 5 of them sold, sight unseen. And I have people reaching out to me every day about that car because it's hard to find. If you do a Google search for SEL Premium R-Line Atlas, I think my videos come up, and that's about it. No one else has videos of that car out, and people just don't know it exists. 2021 Jetta GLI. Yep, the Cross Sport does come with the Brazelton wheels as well. SEL and SEL Premium R-Line, both just like the Atlas. And they still will do that for 2021. Our 2021s, we have 5 or 6 already built. They're sitting at the port, or in this case, Chattanooga. They're holding on other cars. There's some type of software update that all of the new cars need. So they're not shipping those cars yet, but once they do the software update, they'll be released to the dealerships. So you should start seeing 2021 Cross Sports and 21.5 Atlases fairly soon. Jetta GLI, it's going to have 2 trims. You have an S and an Autobahn. So there's only going to be 2 trims. On that Autobahn, the question everybody wants answered is there going to be a Black Edition? The Black Edition does have the black wheels and the black roof. It's all the same. It hasn't changed. So there's the black package with the premium audio. It's going to have Beats audio, panoramic sunroof, all of that stuff. Adaptive cruise control, I think, is added this time. The lighting, projector LEDs, all that stuff still the same. Actually, no, it doesn't look like it has the adaptive cruise control. It still has regular cruise control on that car. Ventilated, heated, and front seats that are going to be leather. You have all of those features there. Let's see here. The other thing I wanted to go over, 2021 Jetta. 2021 Jetta doesn't change a whole lot. Jetta S. The Jetta S is going to have the SE wheel. So that black and silver machined finish wheel, I think I touched on that before. The Jetta S will now have that, so it'll look a little more classy than it did in the past. It still has the cloth seats. Everything gets a USB-C connection. The SE will still have that radio. The R-Line will still have that radio. The R-Line will still have that radio. So once you get to an SEL, that's when you'll get the MIB3. The MIB3 will have the gesture control, wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and the SEL Premium will have that as well. Hasim, on the how do you like Volkswagen? How Volkswagen is doing the blind spot monitoring on the inside of the mirror? It's what's weird is those are 2 different things. The blind spot monitoring on most of the cars is the same still. Passat still has that. Atlas still has it. It's called blind spot monitoring, and it's the little etch in the window or in the driver mirror and the passenger mirror that lights up the little icon of the 2 cars. The Tiguan and the Arteon have what's called side assist, and it's like what looks like a solar panel on the side of the mirror. That lights up amber in color when there's something up there on your side. The way I understand this is side assist is looking. So let's say you're driving in a slow lane on the interstate and the car's coming up on you on the left at a high rate of speed. That is going to light up quicker because it's not lighting up just because they're in your blind spot. It's detecting a car approaching at a faster speed than you're moving. So it lights it up so you don't change lanes into that lane as this car's coming up from behind. Blind spot monitoring only alerts you when the car is actually in your blind spot. So it won't light up when that car is back behind you where you can see it out of your mirror, your rear view mirror, or even your side mirror. It doesn't alert you until it gets into the blind spot, the actual blind spot, and then it lights up. So those are a little different. I think everything's going to go to the side assist. I don't necessarily, I think it's harder for me to see the side assist one, even though it's bigger and it's right there on the side of the mirror than it is for the blind spot monitoring on the tip of the mirror for me. But I'm used to driving cars that have it on the tip of the mirror, so I know to look for it there. If I were driving a Tiguan, I'd probably notice it and it wouldn't be a big deal. Let's see here. So on the Jetta, fog lights are on the R-Line and the SEL Premium. There's no change there. Cold weather package stays. You can still get a stick shift R-Line and a stick shift manual Jetta. No real difference there. Ambient lighting in the top 2, the SEL and the SEL Premium. I would like to see ambient lighting come to every car, every Volkswagen. It would be awesome if they had ambient lighting. It's a cool quirk to have. It would help us sell more cars to more people. because now your car is customizable like a cell phone. Pretty cool there. The 2021 Passat, I am not sure. I have the sheet here. Let me take a look at this here, but I don't know if it's going to have the MIB3 or not. The Passat always seems to kind of fall off, and not necessarily, it's not that it falls off, it's just late to the game with stuff. So like the 2020s all have CarNet, where you'll need an upgraded module to get the CarNet on a 2020. The 2021s, I think they're going to do the MIB3. That's the plan. And I'm looking here and I don't really see it. So maybe they're staying with an MIB2 because there's no mention of Sirius XM360L. I'll have to find out and look that up. I think that judging by this here, they're probably sticking with the MIB2. So the other thing that goes away for 2021 on a Passat, Hazim, you seem that hang on one second here. The 2021 Passat SEL goes away. The R-Line is now the top of the line for 2021. So there will be an S, an SE, and an R-Line. And the R-Line will have AFS, the adaptive front steering with the cornering lights, high beam control, front reading lights, LED, ambient lighting for the footwell. That's the footwell, not the tint color changing. Heated front seats, map pockets. I'm looking to see if there's anything different here, really. The R-Line grille and bumpers, and I'm guessing it's probably going to be the new R-Line logo. So it's not going to change much other than it's going to be the new R-Line. And while we're talking about that, the new R-Line logo, I would expect to be on the 2022 Tiguan, because it didn't do it on the 2021. It still has the old school R-Line badge. I would hope the Passat gets the new upgraded R-Line logo. And as for the steering wheels on these cars, we don't know if they're getting in the new steering wheel with the new logo, or they're keeping that old logo, because the 21 Tiguan actually surprised us. It's staying the same. It hasn't changed to the new logo. It hasn't changed to R-Line or VW. It just hasn't changed. So Wi-Fi, next gen, CarNet. I'm still looking here. I'm kind of scanning over this LED DRLs. Yeah, I want to say that it keeps the MIB2 radio. Sorry, that was a long way to go to answer that for you. Yeah, it looks like it's going to stay with the MIB2 radio for the Passat. Remote engine start still there, and I'd like to see them upgrade that remote start to what I call the 2.0 version of the remote start, something what the Tiguan and the Atlas has, because most people are aggravated by that remote start that the Passat has with the starter kill when you get in the car. It immediately kills the car. You have to restart it. I just sell them. I don't work at the factory, and my opinion doesn't matter to anybody at Volkswagen. So, Ved Pate, how are you? Is it better than the 2020 Cross Sport? Are you referring to the 2021 Cross Sport? If so, there's not a big change there. The 2021 is just going to have the updated radio, just like the Atlas going to a 21.5. They're getting a better radio. They are getting wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, and they're also getting, I think they're going to get the travel assist and the emergency assist on the upper trim levels. Park pilot assist on the, let's see here, on the Passat. I think, let me see here. I'm not seeing anything about park assist. Let's see here. 19-inch 5-spoke toned wheels, R-Line grille, black spoiler, window trim, front ambient footwell, Discovery Media, App Connect, Android Auto. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't get park assist or anything like that. It looks like they just eliminated the SEL altogether, but they did give you Fender audio for the R-Line. So it's going back to what it was in 2019 when they had the SE R-Line, it sounds like. Fender audio's there, lane assist, all that stuff's there, but the SEL, they just eliminated that trim for 2021. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything there about wireless or anything else either. So I think it's just all gone. So if you need park assist, maybe you want to find a 2020 somewhere on an SEL. Vedpate, are you referring to, is the Atlas better than the Cross Sport 2021 Atlas? Let's see here. They're the same. They're just the same. And Volkswagen's confused a heck of a lot of people with the fact that they did a 2020 Cross Sport with a 2021 Atlas. They did that logistically. It made sense to have the same front end on both cars, so that way you're not building one with the old front end and one with the new front end, and the Atlas and they're built on the same line. So it made more sense to do that. I think I might have just called the Cross Sport a 2021 all along, and just done that. Power folding mirrors on the Passat. No, you're fine. You can answer. That's why I do this. I'm learning this too. So ask away on your questions. I'm not too worried about that. Power folding mirrors. Let's see. R-Line. I am not seeing that either. Leather wrap steering wheel, stainless steel, front door sills, brushed aluminum, steel pedal, anti-theft alarm, remote engine start, sun visors, illuminated mirrors, rain sensing wipers, center power sliding, tilting sunroof, chassis, rear spoiler. Looks like the power folding mirrors are gone again. Yeah, so power folding mirrors are gone. It does have paddle shifters, and yeah, it looks like the power folding mirrors are gone too. The 2.0 Atlas would not have a CD player. Is that still accurate? If so, can it be added? Okay, so the 2.0 Atlas, it wasn't the engine per se that was generating whether it had a CD player or not. It was the trim. The Atlas S 2.0 didn't get a CD player because it was the base model, and it just had a radio, AM/FM radio, no CD player. You had to go up to the SE to get a CD player. That ends with the 2021 model. No CD players in a 2021 and a half. So you're gaining wireless Android Auto, wireless CarPlay, and the new 360 Sirius XM 360L for satellite, and you're losing the CD player. And as best I can tell, it looks like you're losing that SD card reader too. Although they're still installing an SD card holder in the glove box, I'm not sure why they're doing that. There's no slot for an SD card reader, not in the glove box and not on the face of the radio. The CD player being added, it's going to be an aftermarket thing, and I don't know. I don't know if the cost would justify that, but I'm sure someone can add that for you. And maybe you can even use a portable CD player with a USB plug-in and do it that way. I don't know. That sounds really old school to me, that what I just offered as a suggestion. But in this day and age, I transferred all my CDs to SD cards. Well, now I'm going to have to find something different because now SD cards are going away. The 2021 Passat will be announced or released. They're being built. Well, they're allocated to us. Let's put it that way. We have two scheduled to be built at the factory, an SE and an R-Line. But they look like they're not going to land at our dealership till late December or early January. So I don't think there's going to be an announcement. They're just going to show up. And Volkswagen doesn't really advertise their cars very well. They just don't. There's sign and drive going on now. They advertise the SUVs. The big push was for SUVs. And we're kind of seeing a bump in sales of Passats because of the fact that other manufacturers have dumped their their sedans. And most of the options for people, if they want a new one, they're going to have to switch brands, or they got to buy a used car. And a lot of people don't want to buy a used car. Maybe those are people who like to lease and don't want to own a car and pay for maintenance and want to be under a warranty. So the Passat is getting more attractive to more people, I think. or at least it will as this plays out. With the pandemic, though, bigger is better. I mean, the more people you fit in a car, the better, because your family, you haul them in one car, and it's your family, and you're not going to get sick from a family member. It's going to be from strangers or mass transit or something else. So, let's see here. The 2021 Jetta. I did go over that a little bit. No real changes there, other than the fact the SE and the the SEL and the SEL Premium both are going to get that wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. They keep Beats Audio, they keep the subwoofer, they keep the 10-color display. The wheels are the same. There's no real difference there. 360L. The other thing is they lose the CD player. Everything loses the CD player, and the USBs go to a USB-C instead of a regular USB plug-in. So you're going to have a different kind of plug-in cable for that. Let's see here. Their website a little bit to make it more elegant. It's more confusing. It is confusing. It's completely different. I think it's gorgeous the way they did VW.com. I love the format. It's just, it's so different from what it was. And there's a lot more lockout or a lot more stuff that's not there. ID.4 is coming. I get that. It's all over the page. The ID.4 is going to be absolutely phenomenal for Volkswagen, but there's an SEL Premium R-Line and an SEL R-Line Atlas that people are clamoring for, and you can't build it. How we got these on an allocation, incredibly lucky. I think that's great for us, but not every person has a dealership that's going to get these. So that's why we take orders for these. That's why we take. You're absolutely welcome, Kristen. But that's how we get ours. We take orders for them and we sell them, and we get more. Let's see, the SEL. I wanted to touch on some things real quick. The hot button cars that we have. Oh, hey, we got a question here. I wish we could just bring some European cars over. Absolutely, Hazim. I'm going to tell you what mine are. I would say top 5, but I don't know how many there are, but there's a bunch. The Scirocco, the Polo. Absolutely would love that car here. The European Golf R, definitely. The Touareg belongs here. Maybe in limited quantities, but there people who buy Touaregs. So now those people are either forced out of the brand or they go somewhere else, or they just hold on to the car they have. That car was a Porsche Cayenne under Volkswagen wraps. It was on the same chassis. The thing is absolutely gorgeous car, luxurious car, everything about it. Let's see. Also, I would say, I said the Polo, the Scirocco, the Golf R. I would love to see the R400 concept be revived and be back. Also, I would like to see the Amarok, or some type of pickup truck here, the T-Roc, and the T-Cross. I'd say just flood the market with different models of cars. There's one for every segment. I am excited about the Taos. I think we're going to sell a lot of those. Its chief competitor, in my opinion, is going to be the Buick Encore, that little roller skate looking thing in a Chevy Trax. Those things just around here in the Midwest are super, super popular. And they just give them away at the dealerships, the GM dealerships. So I think this is a good, viable option. It's going to add a little more luxury, a little more Volkswagen panache to the mix, and it's going to be a great selling car for here. Let's see here. I feel like they brought the Touareg over to the U.S. You would never find them anywhere. Yeah, exactly. That's why I say you limit the numbers. The trouble with the Touareg in the U.S. before is the same problem the Arteon has now. Number one, no advertising. They don't advertise either of those cars very well. They never advertised the Touareg really well. And the CC they never advertised. And well, they did, but it was very, very minimal. And the Arteon, the Stanley Cup playoffs in 2019. I know that because we were watching the Stanley Cup playoffs every night because St. Louis won. The Arteon commercials ran then. That was the big hard push, and that was it. You haven't seen an Arteon commercial since. Oh, I take that back. You did see one where drivers, whatever, the lady driving through the countryside in a Passat commercial, and they showed an Arteon roll up beside her. That was it. They didn't mention the car, but it had a cameo in the video, in the commercial. Volkswagen could really, really, really give a little spark if they brought these little niche cars back. Oh, and a Golf R variant. Golf R wagon in the US would be a dad killer. Holy crap. Every dad in America that wanted a cool, fast car, and the wife said, no, you can't have a GTI. No, you can't have a Golf R. It's not big enough for our kids. Where we're going to put car seats. We're going to put this, the Golf R variant. Oh, or even make 250 of the Arteon shooting brake for the US. 250. That's it. Bring those in. People, there's a market there, but it's a small market, but it's there. Let's see. I went to change my oil for my Jetta the other day and sat in an Arteon, and it was, yep, that's what the Arteon does. It's a beautiful car. It's a comfortable car. It's a sexy car. It's just expensive. Volkswagen, I think they know that, and maybe they'll come out with some great, attractive lease deals on the car at some point. The spark they need, the kick in the pants the Arteon needs is great lease deals. Make great lease deals. Make people lease that car. Then it creates it as a used car. Then it's affordable to the regular people. That's what you do with it. You make it a lease car with an attractive lease rate, and when they turn it in, it goes over to your pre-owned department, and now they can sell it. They can sell it to somebody else, and now the price is going to be a little more reasonable, and it's been well maintained because it's a lease car. I would love to see that. And the Touareg the same way. The other thing I wanted to talk about here, hot cars. I kind of alluded to that a minute ago. Hot cars. Jetta GLI Autobahn Black Edition. Super, super hot car. If anybody's looking for that car, you're probably wanting to order that car, because the chances of you finding that on a dealership lot and the color you want, whether it be pure gray, white, red, or black, are slim to almost none. We were one of the first ones to get one, and I made a video of that car. I had 5 people, and people called from across the country looking at that car or looking to buy that car. I had 5 people after that car was sold. The day after that car was sold, I had 3 of those people calling me. And one person walked in, yeah, I don't want to test drive this car, see if I can buy it. Sorry, it's already sold. And the pure gray black edition, people lost their minds over that. Look at the video. It's amazing. So if you want a black edition GLI, go to your local dealer and order that car, or come to me. If you want to come to St. Louis and buy it from me, hey, I'm all down with that. I'll pick you up at the airport. But that car, odds are you're going to want to order it. I already have one on order for a gentleman in the Air Force who's stationed overseas. He'll be back in the spring, and the car hasn't been built yet. It'll be ready for him, ready and waiting for him when he gets back. Second hot car, Tiguan SE R-Line. Man, this is such a good-looking car. The Tiguan SE R-Line with the black wheels, the blacked out trim. I wish that Volkswagen would add this to other trims, to other models. The Jetta with a blacked out R-Line, an Arteon with a blacked out R-Line. We don't sell enough Arteons as it is, so maybe not. But man, the Atlas is absolutely screaming for it. If you did an SE with Tech R-Line Black Edition, man, oh man, you would never see them on a lot. They'd be sold instantly. And the thing is, Volkswagen's very slow to pick out what their hot cars are going to be. The R-Line has been hot ever since it landed. It started with a Passat, at least in my experience. The R-Line Passat, and then at that point, that was like 2016, 2017, and they came out late. They came out late in that model year. So I'm sorry, I was reading the screen there. The 2017 Passat R-Line kind of started it, and then it came out with the lighting package, and then no one wanted the R-Line with the regular halogen headlights. The R-Line package with the R-Line with the lighting package on the Passat was just so badass. I mean, we couldn't keep them on a lot. People would go, "What kind of car is that? I have to have it." It was crazy. And then the Tiguan the Tiguan R-Line came out, and the Tiguan R-Line was just below the SEL with the short body style, and then they flipped it in 2016 to just above the S. So they changed the trim level on it. So they're figuring out things. But the R-Line version of anything outsells everything else. Everybody wants that R-Line look. So Volkswagen needs to flip it and maybe build more R-Lines first and then build the other stuff around it, but they'll never do that. I have done a video of my personal Atlas. It's a short one. I will, once it's cleaned up again, the wife drives it primarily. I will make one of that, and I'll make one of my Jetta as well, my Jetta R-Line. And the story on that Atlas is we tried. I even called Volkswagen Corporate. I had a contact at Volkswagen Corporate, one of the buildings down in Texas. I emailed him and found the specific Atlas we wanted. We wanted a 2019 SEL R-Line tourmaline blue with Shetland beige interior Atlas. Got the car, got it here, got it cleaned up, put my wife in it for a day for her to drive it to make sure that was the car she wanted. Brought it back to the dealership, vacuumed it out, cleaned it up, parked it in the back, and held onto the keys. It was sold 45 minutes later by another salesman. The people came from a Honda dealership, test driving a Honda Pilot in blue. When I saw them pull up in a blue Pilot with a dealer plate on it, I knew I was in trouble because they were looking for a blue car. And we had two blue R-Lines, one with black and no sunroof. And they drove that, and they didn't like that one as much because it was black interior and it didn't have a sunroof. And of course, the one that I got for my wife, they absolutely loved, and they weren't leaving without it. So we lost out on that one. Called the dealership in Kansas City. Kansas City had one. They said, yeah, you can have it. Call me back on Monday. It was a Saturday when we called. Call me on Monday and we'll organize it and we'll get it all worked out. Called them on Monday. Oh, man, we sold it on Saturday. So strike two. And then the third one came from another dealership. It was a blue one with Shetland beige interior with black wheels. So if we weren't getting R-Line, we were only going to get black wheels. Turns out it was a dealership's demo car. It had 1,200 miles on it, and whoever was driving this demo scratched it up and dinged it up and used black marker to try to hide the little marks on the doors and stuff on the blue car. I guess it's some kind of an optical illusion. When you use a black marker, it hides things. And then one of the doors was out of round, and it was spilled coffee in the little cup holders and in the cubby. I was like, nope, we're not buying this car. Take it back. So we ended up buying a black one with beige interior. So absolutely love that. When will the build and the price be out for the 2021.5 Atlas Cross Sport? So Subigs is, if I hopefully I pronounced that right. There isn't a 21.5 Cross Sport. There's a 21 Cross Sport because this current Cross Sport was a 2020. They are out now, and on VW.com, they don't tend to change to the next model year until stock is or inventory is kind of depleted or about to be depleted on the previous year. Or sometimes they'll do it where you can change it between 2020 and 2021. Right now, you shouldn't be able to see 2021 on VW.com because the cars are sitting at Chattanooga. They just started building them 2 months ago. So they're stockpiling them to mass ship them out. They're just not doing anything with that yet. Let's see. 2021.5. The only thing that's a 2021.5 is going to be the Atlas itself, the full-size Atlas. That's it. Let's see here. What were we talking about? Oh, Tiguan SE R-Line, Atlas SE R-Line. Black Edition. Yeah, I think it would have been a hot car. A Passat R-Line Black Edition would be pretty hot. I mean, you name it, just black on anything. I mean, the number of Jeep Trackhawks I see, or not Trackhawks, but Cherokees with black wheels, and the black wheel thing is getting done on so many mainstream cars, and yet Volkswagen's just now getting into the game on the Tiguan and the GLI, and we got to own that. If Volkswagen really wants to sell a lot of SUVs in the U.S. market, they need to come up with more blacked out options because people just go nuts over it. So you bought your 2012 Jetta and ordered a blue one, and they called us to come pick it up. When we got to the dealership, they sold it to the person before us. We had to get same story, man. No go on silver. Nope. Not doing that. That's especially if you want it blue. No, that's a no-go. That's a deal killer. Let's see. So continue on these hot cars. The SEL Premium R-Line. I can't say enough about this car. It's a gorgeous car. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look at one of my other videos there. I have, I think, 4 videos, a red one, a black one, a green one, and a silver one that I've had of SEL Premium R-Line Atlases. And I will tell you what, I get an email, I get a phone call, I get a text message almost every single day about this car. That video, the main video that I put out there only has 24,000 views, but it has gotten to people. I mean, I tell you what, the amount of interest that I have in that car, when my phone rings from an out-of-state number, I know it's somebody calling me about an R-Line. And 90% of the time, it's an Atlas SEL Premium R-Line. Just a gorgeous car, very well put together, exterior-wise, interior-wise. It's just more polished. And the SEL R-Line, what's surprising to me is I'm not getting a lot of bites on those, which has always been our hot seller, especially in white with Shetland interior. But I think it's because the SEL Premium now exists in an R-Line, and it didn't before. People are switching to that one. But the SEL R-Line is just as gorgeous. It just doesn't have the front camera. It doesn't have the 360. It doesn't have the power folding mirrors and the premium audio. But there's a lot of people that aren't going to care. That car is gorgeous. It's probably one of the best looking Volkswagens. And that goes for the Cross Sport as well. The Cross Sport SEL R-Line and SEL Premium R-Line are just 2 of the best looking cars on the road. And they command attention where people will drive by and go, what was that? They will. I've actually had people tell me they turn around and follow the car to find out what it was. And then they come to the dealership to see one. So the Cross Sport is going to have that effect on people. Let's see here. You have a 2018 Nissan Murano Platinum, and I really want my mom to trade it in for an Atlas Cross Sport SEL Premium. Yep. You're going to have more room. You're going to have a lot more room. The Cross Sport blows people's minds with about how much space it has in the back. And that wheelbase is the same as the Atlas wheelbase. The car is 5 inches shorter than an Atlas, but you don't give up a whole lot of space. You absolutely don't. And the Cross Sport just looks so much better. It's such a, I can't keep going on about how beautiful the car is. It's just awesome. And then the other car I wanted to talk about that's absolutely hot is the Passat R-Line in certain colors. White ones was to really surprise me. The white Passat R-Line, we had 2 of them, and we sold both of them in less than 5 days. The gray one, the black one, and then the red one. We sold the red one the day it landed. The tourmaline blue is also another color. I have videos of all of those colors. I mean, check them out. It's just a really, really good car. Well, I understand that. If you had to do it, you needed a car. Yeah, I would have made the dealership pay for that one, though. There's a cost. You have to bribe me to be colorblind in that case. Absolutely. Mercedes-Benz, how are you? Jetta redesign. Funny you asked that. I don't know. You're the first person that's ever asked me that. Because it was redesigned in 2019. Well, 2018 technically. As of 2019, I wouldn't foresee it being. It's going to be a refresh, not a redesign, I think. And there is absolutely nothing on the wire about that. Nothing at all. But the Atlas got refreshed in 3 years. But the segment, to be honest, the segment that the Atlas is in kind of blew up. It exploded as soon as the Atlas came out. I mean, they added the Telluride, they added the Palisade, the Traverse got redesigned. I think the Enclave got redesigned. The XT6 came out. I mean, that category is absolutely, it's crowded, and the Atlas had to do something to stay with that crowd. If you buy an Atlas, you need to come to St. Louis and buy it. Just saying. Just I'm low pressure. I'm not gonna. Yeah, just come to St. Louis, fly in, drive out. I don't care where you're at. You're in California, just road trip. The country's on lockdown. You get to see half the country could come here and go back with some toasted ravioli, toasted ravs, and gooey butter cake, and even pork steaks. You know, make it a trip. Yeah, at least with my dealership, the discounts stay pretty much the same. They don't get better at the end of the. They do. Okay, let me rephrase that. They do get a little better at the end of the year, but not a lot. They're not like domestics where Sunday, 11 grand off of this car, save 10 grand here and get this bonus and dealer cash and all that stuff. Volkswagen doesn't do that. It's a German brand, but their discounts are typically consistent. Like right now, a 2021 Tiguan doesn't have a whole lot of money off. It's less than $1,000 off because A, they want to get that car to dealerships. They want to stock up so the dealerships are ready. And B, why have incentives to get rid of a car that you just started building? That doesn't make sense. But for the most part, like a Passat, yeah, right now you can get lots of money. You can get buku money off of Passat. You can get buku money off of 21 Atlas. That's just how the nature of the business. And right now they're doing sign and drive, and they're doing 0.9% for 21 Atlases, and 21.5 will also carry that, I believe. So you've got that going for you. All kinds of good stuff. Let's see. What other questions do you guys have? I see we got a few people in here. We hit 10 for a minute there. This is crazy. This is all new to me. I'm just a car salesman. So it is there's a comparison video out there, not mine, but a guy does a comparison of a Q8 and a Cross Sport. I do think they're pretty much the same car because it seems like across the board they're getting that stuff. Sorry, my watch buzzes and I have to look at it and make sure it's not someone calling me. Let's see. The Q8, it's pricey. It's an Audi. It's still a Volkswagen. It's a Volkswagen sister brand. I'm going to go with the Cross Sport and keep a little money in my pocket. That's what I'd do. I'd go to a higher trim level. Before the Atlas, I did have a Tiguan. I had a 2016 Tiguan. It was a Tiguan S, but that 2016 Tiguan S was pretty loaded for a base car. I mean, it had, even for a base car, it didn't have cloth seats. It had push button start, keyless entry, heated seats. They were leatherette seats, and it had that 2.0 turbo where it would that thing would run out of the hood if you had to left the hood open and mashed on the gas. That thing had so much horsepower. It had 200 horsepower. I mean, that thing was a monster on the road. It did take premium gas. That was the only thing I didn't like about it. Well, it had halogen headlights. I didn't necessarily like that either. But man, that was a runner. That was our first SUV. If you want to call that an SUV, I guess that's a compact SUV. And then we went to the Atlas. But my two daughters were in dance, and I don't know if you've ever seen a garment bag, but they're pretty huge. We needed something to put the garment bag in and still have room to carry people. So the Atlas has been an absolutely flawless car. So just to go over some cars that I've had. First Volkswagen I had was a 2014 Jetta 2.0 flat. It was a flat 4-cylinder, non-aspirated or naturally aspirated engine, I should say. No turbo. Second Volkswagen we got after that was the Tiguan. We got rid of the Jetta and got a Tiguan. And then the third car after that was a 2016 GTI. So we had two 2016s. Then after the 2016 GTI, it had a shorter lease period than the Tiguan. Turned that guy in and got the 2019 Atlas. It's an SEL. And then this summer, we got a Jetta R-Line, a 2020. So I will always lease cars because, you know, I sell cars and they're going to there's always going to be something new that I want, something different. And leasing just makes sense for us because I don't stay in the cars longer than that. Let's see here. You recently bought a Silverado, and on their website, the vehicle was $39K. We got it to the dealership, and they were trying to sell it to us for $55K. Typical tactic. Dealership I used to work for, I don't work for anymore. Way back when I started with Volkswagen, they would advertise MSRP on their cars, and then the goal was for you to come in and haggle. Well, dealership I'm at now does it completely opposite of that. They know that you're shopping online on the internet, and so you look at the website every day. Everybody's price is right there, so we put that price on there. Now, from time to time, dealerships will they will advertise a price, and they'll say, "Well, that includes this discount. We have to add that back in if you don't qualify," which is absolutely true. However, the presentation is just not right. It's not cool. So dealerships have done that from time to time. We have a sister dealership. It's the same name as ours, but they'll do that a lot, and they'll get you with the oh, by the ways. Hey, yeah, this car is advertised at this price, but you're not this. You don't qualify for this. You don't work for this company. You're not a teacher. You're not this. You're not this. So now the price is this. It's kind of maddening, but that's how they do it. And I don't know if you'll get that out of the industry completely or not. I liked. Okay, Kristen, are you talking about current models of the Tiguan or Jetta, or the two that I owned? Because I was just talking about the two I owned before now. I had a 2016 Tiguan, and I have a 2020 Jetta, and I had a 2014 Jetta. If you're talking about currently, okay. Currently, I would say that's kind of a hard question. The Jetta sits low to the ground, and it has a dynamic going on with the seat, where the seat's kind of like this, where you sit kind of pinched in it. And I'm not necessarily a fan of that all the time. And that's not something where the seat adjustments, you can adjust that all the way out. Tiguan, if it's an SE R-Line or an SEL Premium R-Line, yeah, I'm in. The legroom in the second row for the Tiguan is fantastic. It's never been that big legroom wise, and you can move that seat forward and back and also recline it in that middle row seat there. I say middle row because some of these are 3-row. You can get it with a 3-row as well. But the Tiguan leg space in the second row and the front row, for that matter, is just top notch. Then you can fold down the seats and get all that cargo space in the Tiguan. I'd probably have to give it to the Tiguan because I can drive that anytime. I can drive it in snow. I can drive it whatever, because I'm talking about an all-wheel drive one. We kind of moved out to not a rural area, but on the edge of rural in the St. Louis area. And when it snows, I want to be able to get on the highway and get to work. So that's why we have the Atlas for that. And for that Tiguan, it would do the same. Absolutely eats up the snow. The 4Motion system on a Tiguan is amazing. Yeah, on a Tiguan, that is a class-leading feature, that third row. Everybody gets that that's a tiny seat in the third row, and you're only going to put kids back there. You're not going to put an adult back there unless they're in a doghouse. But that third row seat does help in a pinch. It's a great thing to have. And you don't lose a whole lot of storage space when you have that in the back. So Silverado, that's an expensive truck no matter what. It looks like you got $8,000 off of it, so still a great deal. The gas mileage on that thing, you're on your own. You can have that gas mileage. I'm not up for that, but I've got an Atlas that doesn't get much better gas mileage than that. But still, the pickup truck, everybody where I live now, everybody has a pickup truck. So much so, it's the fastest growing city in Missouri. And everybody owns a pickup truck or a Jeep. In some cases, they own both, and their garages aren't big enough for the trucks they have. So the truck is always sitting backed into the driveway. It's crazy how many pickup trucks that are out here compared to just across the river and the county line. It's completely opposite. So really interesting dynamic there. That has nothing to do with anything we're talking about here. So what other questions you guys got? It says, looks like we got 9 people in the room here. What other questions you guys got? Because I've just talked and talked and talked and kind of talked in a circle here. I have comparison charts for the Tiguan, 2021 Tiguan, and the 21.5 Atlas. I kind of already touched on that, so I won't go over that anymore if you don't have any questions about it. Let's see here. I'm glad they offer power 40 mirrors on the Atlas and the Crossport. Yep, they do that on the SEL Premium and the SEL Premium R-Line. Those are the only 2. And they do that on the Tiguan as well for the SEL Premium R-Line. Jetta, does the Jetta have it? I think the Jetta does on the SEL Premium. Now I don't remember for sure, but I think it does, and the Passat does on the SEL. And we just had a discussion earlier in the chat. I don't know if you were around for it, but looks like Passat loses power folding mirrors for 2021. The R-Line is going to do the top of the line for 2021. And you're correct. The Arteon does it as well. Arteon SEL does it, and the SEL Premium R-Line do it. So videos that I have coming up. I'm going to any APR upgrade by VW. I don't know that VW offers any kind of upgrade APRs. They don't do APR stuff themselves. I know APR does a lot of things that claim that they're not going to mess with your OEM warranty. From the Volkswagen end, that's a hard question to answer, because you can ask 7 people and get different answers from all of them. I talk to my service techs a lot and ask them questions about it. And it seems like there's no real consensus on whether or not you can do an APR tune and still keep warranty and things in place. I have a customer that has a 2018 Golf R that did an APR stage 2 tune on it with the carbon fiber. Everything's carbon fiber on the inside. He had some warranty work that needed to be done, and it was a question or not whether it was going to work. And then they determined that they weren't linked in any way, so they did the warranty work. I think his ACC sensor had to be replaced or something like that. Yeah, the gas mileage is going to be low on that Silverado, but man, it's a great truck. I mean, no one builds a bad truck anymore. There's your Dodge Ram, there's your Silverado, there's your F-150. It seems like popularity-wise, like I said, I'm in a heavily populated pickup truck area now, and the Silverado is high up, but the GM plant is here in town. There is actually a GM plant here. The Silverado is kind of king out here, and the Ram seems to be a close second. Ford seems to be a distant third. But man, the pickup trucks are crazy out here, and that's probably why there's so many pickup trucks. I just hit on it there. The GM plant is right here in town, GM Winsville Assembly Plant. So that's pretty good. Audi A3 or Volkswagen Jetta. And it comes to money, dollars and cents. I'm always going to pick the Volkswagen over the A3. But the A3, don't get me wrong, is a awesome, awesome car. And there's a lot of elements to the A3 that you'd see in it. If you park the Jetta and an A3 side by side, I'll one up you. I would say if it were a GLI versus an A3, I would definitely go with the GLI. A regular Jetta, you're going to have that gas mileage, and I have that Jetta R-Line, and let me tell you what, it reminds me when I drive it in manual mode. It is automatic, but you can drive it where you just manually shift it. It doesn't seem that far off of my GTI, but I know that it's a lot more off, but it just doesn't. It reminds me of my GTI, and that thing is, holy crap, that thing is a little quick when you do the manual mode on a Jetta with that 1.4. And I still get gas mileage. Hey, Terry Sloan, how are you doing? Hey, I'm on vacation. So yeah, that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this to see what's going on. I will be back at work. So always good to hear from you, buddy. Build me a Crossport with black wheels when you get back to work. The black Maharadas. Just do that for me. Just set it aside for me and I'll come get it. So yeah, the R-Line is worth the money. It's so much car, and it's so good looking, and you get cool wheels. No matter what model you're looking at, the R-Line is just on point. It definitely is. Terry, racing green and black wheels? Nah, no. We're gonna do pure gray with black wheels. But if we're got to do racing green, then it needs to be an SEL Premium R-Line. So that way I get the 21-inch wheels and that brown interior. So if you guys haven't figured out, he works for VW. Pretty cool. What other questions do you guys have? Terry, I'm coming down to get it. You tell me when it's ready, and I expect it to be $0. Does anyone else have any other questions about what's coming or why something is the way it is? I kind of touched on everything I have. I was going to touch on the cars that are coming and videos. I'm going to end up flooding my channel with some more videos. SEL Premium R-Line Atlases. I have, holy cow, 14 of them. 7 of them are going to be, no, is it 7? Yeah, 7 of them are going to be black, so I'm not going to do a whole lot of those. I have black with black with beige, black with Morrow brown. Those 2 are sold. Those are the first 2 to sell. Then I have a white SEL Premium R-Line with Shetland that's sold, and a white SEL Premium R-Line with black that's sold. All of them have captain's chairs. We have a number of silver ones coming. I think we have 4 of the silver ones coming with black interior. And then we have, what other color do we have? 2 gray ones. One of the gray ones is going to have Morrow brown interior. I think that's going to be the next one to sell. And then I have a gray one with black interior that's also coming that will sell fairly quick. So I tell you what, this is this car, Volkswagen hit it out of the park with this thing. I don't think they even realize it yet. And the fact that it's order only makes it a little, I think it adds to the appeal, but at the same time, man, oh man, oh man, it keeps me busy. And then I also have SEL R-Lines coming. I have 5 of those coming. 2 silver, 1 black, 1 white, 1 blue. Calm down. It doesn't have Shetland interior. It has black interior. Those blue ones, the tourmaline blue, they should only build those with Shetland interior because people absolutely lose their minds over that. If only someone at Volkswagen could know that and hear that. Maybe they changed the product mix a little bit. And then on Atlas Cross Sports, the premium one that I'm getting is going to be a pure black pearl or deep black pearl one with dark burgundy interior as an SEL Premium R-Line Cross Sport, the 2021. That thing is going to be stupid gorgeous. Then I have a pure gray one with dark burgundy interior as well. And I'm also excited to see the new interior color, stone blue. We don't have anything coming with stone blue in it, but once we get one, you can be sure I'll make a video of that. I also have a 2021 Jetta GLI Autobahn Black Edition coming. I expect that one sometime in January, maybe February before that gets here. That's an ordered car for a customer, and that's a DSG. Also, the 2021 Atlas, the 2021 and a half regular Atlases. I got to do at least one of each of the trims. There's already a 2021 and a half Atlas S uploaded. So you guys can see that, but there's no changes there. That's still like a 2021. There's no real difference there. And then also we have several SE R-Line Black Edition Tiguan's coming in the 2021. 1 gray, a couple white ones, and there's a black one coming. Love that. We didn't get one as a 2020 in black, but we'll get a 2021 coming pretty soon. And then also, let's see what else we got coming. Oh, the Golf, 2021 Golf, the TSI 1.4 is coming. I'll do a video with that. And, Cornflower Blue Golf GTI. I can't talk all of a sudden. I'm tongue-tied. Cornflower Blue with black Pretoria wheels on an SE. That's going to look awesome. We'll have a video of that one coming. And then, that, of course, that Arteon in Urano Gray, the SEL Premium R-Line. That'll be a fully loaded car, and that'll probably be the only Arteon we get for the year. If not, we may get one later on. And I'll, of course, keep you posted on that. Another car that's coming would be, all of the Jettas. We have Jetta S, Jetta SE, Jetta R-Line, and then Jetta SEL and SEL Premium. I have all of those coming in 2021s as well. And a 2021 SEL Tiguan. We're waiting on that one because allegedly there's new wheels with that. The new Tiguan SEL will get the formerly Victoria Falls wheel. And then, yeah, that I think it's going to have a darker gray tint to it. It may, in this picture here, it looks the same, but I thought I heard that they were going to do a little darker gray color on it. And then, ID.4. ID.4s will start showing up in April. So supposedly we have a lot of pre-orders already in the system. So ID.4 will be here, and then a Taos will be here as a 2022. And I'm holding firm to the rumor that I think that there's going to be a short build on a 2021 Tiguan, and there will be a 2022 Tiguan coming, and that may be the refreshed Tiguan, and then of course the MK8. I will keep you posted on all that stuff. Let's see here. What's the interior called? Hazim, you're talking about the interior color, stone blue. Just like the Tiguan has a stone blue exterior color, but it's a stone blue interior, and I believe it's going to be two-tone, like a gray and blue. Subix, I'm sure there's a Volkswagen dealer that would love to have you. Just knowledge up, know all your stuff, know everything about the Volkswagens, and just blow them away in an interview. Telluride versus Atlas versus Volvo versus Jeep recommendations. Okay, so I'm guessing you're saying the Telluride versus Atlas versus XC90 as the Volvo, and the Jeep. I'm guessing you're talking about the Grand Cherokee. Now, the Grand Cherokee doesn't necessarily measure up to the Atlas because they're kind of in a different class. The Grand Cherokee will measure up more to the Crossport, and I'm going to put my eggs in the Crossport basket every time. Because the Crossport, the Crossport is a gorgeous car. It's a roomy car. It's a big car. It's built in the U.S. It checks so many boxes, and that V6 or the turbo, it's a coupe car. It's got looks. It's got so much going for it. The Jeep Grand Cherokee, in my opinion, great car. Longevity wise, I think I'm gonna stick with the Volkswagen. I hear that Jeeps are kind of they're kind of maintenance hogs, they just are, is what I hear. And everybody's got a Grand Cherokee. Not everybody has a Crossport. Everybody's got that. XC90, gorgeous car. I would say an XC90, it has its own group, but it's more expensive. It does have a hybrid version. Inside the interior layout of an XC90, it's a little quirky. I'm not necessarily a big fan of the interior, the infotainment system and all that stuff, the way it's set up there. Luxury wise, oh yeah, they hit it out of the park. Luxurious interior wise, they remind me of Mazda. Mazda spends a lot on interior. And Terry, I'm taking you up on that dinner. We're doing that when the factory tours open up. We're doing that. Just interior finish. Volvo makes a great looking, sexy car, and I don't know. Price wise, I'm gonna stick with the Atlas. Telluride, I just can't see myself doing a Kia. Just can't. It's not anything bad. It's just me. I'm not going to do a Kia. The Telluride, I don't think it's the best looking car either. I think it's got some ugly features, but you put black wheels on it and less chrome and things like that. Well, anything looks badass with black wheels and less chrome. So that Nightfall edition, I think, is a step in the right direction. Another reason why I think Volkswagen needs to come out with an R-Line Black Edition for every trim. and they need to build a ton of them. So I would say it would come down to the Volvo and the Atlas to me. The Volvo and the Atlas, and I'm not going to choose between the two. It's kind of personal preference at that point. Dealerships will hire you depending on what job you apply for at 16. In most cases, you can be a porter at a dealership. You have to be able to learn how to drive a stick shift. So if you can drive a stick shift, yeah, you can be a porter at most dealerships. Some dealerships will probably make you be 18, but 16, I think you can be. Well, hold on, let me scratch that. I think our dealership might, now that I think of it, it might be 17. But 16 or 17, you can be a porter, and you're pulling up cars and things of that nature. Just make sure you have your driver's license and be careful. ID.4, like I said, those are coming out in the spring. They start building those fairly soon. They're built in Germany for now, and then they'll be built in Chattanooga once they're done upgrading the plant for that. You're absolutely right. The Atlas Crossport is underrated. It's super underrated. I don't think people really get that car is, you know what, to be fair though, that car, when it rolled out, the timing was horrible. And it wasn't horrible. It wasn't anything Volkswagen did that was wrong with that. It's just the pandemic absolutely blew up at that point. So it kind of squashed the big launch. It squashed all the advertising. It squashed everything. A global pandemic absolutely shut that car down. So I think look for a reboot. Volkswagen may be saying, let's try that again once the pandemic wanes. Who knows how long that's going to take? I'm going to say that's probably going to be 2022. But I tell you what, the Crossport definitely gets attention. We definitely get a lot of traffic from it. A lot of people who come in for it. Most of the people are looking at Jeep Grand Cherokees and then this car as well. So the Jeep Grand Cherokee is being cross-shopped with it a lot. A few people were looking at the Blazer. I've sold a couple people that were looking at a Blazer and said, okay, absolutely not. I'm going with this car. The interior on the Blazer tends to hit it kind of misses the mark versus the Crossport. Visually on the outside, they're both equal in a lot of people's eyes. Black wheels on the Blazer looks pretty tough. On a regular Blazer, not so much. And then let's see, the last person I had to test drive a Crossport was actually cross-shopping it against a couple Land Rovers, which was surprising to me. She drove the SEL Premium, not the SEL Premium R-Line, and she wanted to test it out versus the Evoque, and there was another small SUV that Land Rover has that she was looking at, and I think she might have said a Discovery as well, but it's bringing a whole different clientele, just like the Atlas did, to Volkswagen that just weren't there before. If I had an unlimited budget, what VW would you purchase right now? Arteon. You see how I didn't even pause there? Arteon. SEL Premium Arteon. And I would tune that sucker. I would get a stage 2 tune on that thing. Arteon all day. Atlas or Crossport, which is better for off-road? Crossport's probably going to be a little more nimble, I would think. All things equal, it's the same car. It's just you're not going to be carrying as much cargo. A Crossport, it's just going to be more nimble. You're definitely not going to take an R-Line out there. There's a couple people out there that have videos of an R-Line Crossport and an R-Line Atlas where they try to take it off-road. And with that low-profile tire, yeah, it's a no-go. You're definitely going to have to go with beefier tires and maybe a different wheel setup. Well, definitely if you have the R-Line, you don't want to take those wheels. But if you put the right wheels on it, right fitment and everything, oh, Crossport all day, just because it's so nimble. Atlas, you could do the same with it, but you don't need a 3-row to do that. You just don't. When there's a smaller version, take the smaller version. If I had to pick a second car brand, what brand would I pick? I think it's Audi. A fun car would be an Audi. Maybe an R8. An R8, or my wife is big into the A7s. I would get an RS7. Actually, I'd take away the R8. No, I wouldn't do the R8 because people want to race you everywhere. It looks like an Indy car. I would do the RS7 all day, or maybe an RS8. An RS8 is a big car. No, I don't want to cart people around. Yeah, stick with the RS7. RS7 is where it's at. What do you think of the Atlas and the Atlas Crossboard in terms of V6, the 3.6 V6 fuel economy? I think they're fine. I have an Atlas. Yeah, it uses gas. I get that. But everybody that lives out here with me has a pickup truck that gets the same or worse mileage. It's no different. It's no different. Now, if gas were $4 a gallon, $5 a gallon, would I drive? I'd probably look for something else or drive it less because we have two cars. But it does what it does. I just got a load of plywood, or not plywood, but lumber yesterday in my Atlas. All I had to do was lower the seats and move the front seat forward. I got 20 pieces of lumber in the back, easy. I thought I only ordered. I went to a Menards where you have to pay for it first before you load it. So I didn't want to buy too much and not be able to load it all in there. So I thought 20 2x4s is all I can get in here. Oh man, was I wrong. I mean, I got all those 2x4s in there, and I had room for another 30 2x4s easily, and I didn't do it. I wasn't going to go back and pay for more and load up more. So yeah, fuel economy, it's there. Functionality, we get people to come in and they rule the Atlas out because of fuel economy. They say it doesn't get good enough, so they go to Toyota and get a Highlander hybrid. But there's so many changes there. It's smaller cargo space, less room, and you're only gaining maybe 5 to 6 miles per gallon better fuel economy empty in that car. Maybe. And you know what? It's an SUV. It's got a V6. A V6 is going to be a fuel hog. The thing acts like a V8. It just does. It gives you pulling power. It gives you all that. So you're gonna suck it up on fuel economy. It's just how it works. Let's see here. The R8 discontinued. I wouldn't be surprised by that maybe they are. I don't follow Audi enough to know that, but I mean, it makes sense. It's a lot more than a niche car. It's a badass car, but does it really have a place on US streets? Probably not. It's just a show car. It's just what people show off with. And you would still get the Atlas. Yep, the Atlas is where it's at. So the differences between the SEL, the SEL Premium, and wait a minute, the SEL Premium, SEL R-Line. Are you referring to the Atlases, Diranoni? Are you which are you referring to? And I'm guessing you're saying between the SEL Premium, and SEL Premium R-Line. Okay, so let's see here. I'm typing something here. The SEL, we'll start with that one on the Atlas. SEL is just a regular Atlas. It'll have the black plastic cladding down below the chrome line on the doors. It has 3-seat memory. It has keyless entry, push button start, navigation with the digital cluster, heated steering wheel, which is leather wrapped, the sunroof, the tow hitch, and you can get captain's chairs or the 7-seat bench setup. So there's no real difference there. That's just the regular plain old Atlas with a 20-inch wheel. A lot of people aren't fans of the new wheel designs, but yeah, paint them black, get different wheels if you want. but they have a silver 20-inch alloy wheel. You go to an SEL R-Line, it has all of those features. The only thing is now we've put lipstick on it and made it look pretty for the dance. You have body colored paint below that chrome line instead of the hard plastic. You have that new aggressive R-Line front end with the bigger air intakes and that gloss black or piano black finish. And then you have on the exhaust tips that are fake on the back, those faux exhaust tips, instead of them being dual on the back, they're quad. They're still fake, but they look good on the car. It's what Volkswagen and Audi are doing. You get the new R-Line badge on the side of the doors. This is on the Atlas SEL R-Line. And then you get an R-Line badge at the bottom of the steering wheel, finished in piano black. And then you get the sport grip on the steering wheel on the sides at 9 and 3. That's pretty much it for the R-Line there. The SEL Premium gets all of that and just adds a 360 camera, power folding mirrors, real leather seats in the front and second row, heated seats in the second row, ventilated seats in the first row, Fender Premium audio, a light in the cup holder spot there, and then park assist where the car will actually park itself. Those are your main well, those are all your differences there. And tow hitch and the sunroof are all standard on the cars that way. So I just like the cross sport, and I just don't think, I think once the pandemic and all this stuff stops being on people's minds, the election stops being on people's mind, Volkswagen cars are gonna start being really hard to find because people are gonna start coming back and looking for cars, and Volkswagen's got a lot of cars that are now head turners. I mean, literally the cross sport, I don't know what their projections are, but it seems like that car is really going to take off. And it's going to be hard to figure out what your top seller is going to be. Is it going to be the Tiguan? Is it going to be the Atlas? Is it going to be the Cross Sport? Is it going to be the Taos? Which one of those SUVs is going to be your volume leader? I don't think they really can figure that out. They do numbers, they crunch things and try to figure it out. But I don't know how they're going to pull that off because every one of these cars has a niche. The Tiguan is the college age, the college student, the college grad, just got out of med school, the nurse. She's got to get to work regardless of snow or regardless of weather. I got to go to work. I can't call in sick. So I need 4Motion. I need to sit up high. I need to be safe in an SUV. That's going to be the Tiguan. And more so, you're going to start seeing that be the Cross Sport. The Atlas, yeah, if you're starting a family or something like that, you're pregnant with your first kid, you're pregnant with twins, something like that, I'd probably go to the Atlas before I go to the Tiguan. The Tiguan, some families pick that. They say the Atlas is just too big. But there's always the pickup line at school. There's the grocery pickup now. There's things that didn't play in the decision before that do now, like contactless delivery or contactless pickup. When you go to the grocery store and you need to open that hatch for them to put your groceries in the back, you can do it from the driver's seat. And you've got all that space. And if you got people in the middle row, they don't have to move or shift around or anything for groceries to be loaded in the back. Soccer gear, baseball gear, dance gear, cheer gear, all that stuff has bags and storage. And Atlas is going to take care of that. A Cross Sport will take care of that. But if you're still fertile, if the female is still the fertile one in the group and there's still a possibility that you could have another kid, I'd go Atlas first. That way you can grow into that car instead of going up to like a Tiguan and then having to upgrade to a Cross Sport and then upgrade to an Atlas later. It's just a whole lot of upgrading and just start big and downsize from there. Performance-wise, fuel economy-wise, they're going to be about the same. So any other questions, guys? I'm approaching an hour and a half here. I probably should wind this down. Where are you guys all watching for? Just type in the comments where you're watching from. It looks like we got 8 people on here. We had a peak of 12 at one point there, which is good to see. Also, hey, if you want to donate to the channel, I know that sounds weird. I'm a car salesman, but if you want to donate to the channel, you can do a super chat thing. It's supposedly you can do that where you can donate money and do a super chat. Nashville, Tennessee, Troy Bailey. Hey, how you doing? Dear Ronnie, where in Virginia are you? And I know I just pronounced that wrong. I thought I had it the first time. Diranoni. Where in Virginia are you? And Subix, you're in Maryland. Where are you at? You guys are both close to DC, I bet. So, yeah, I'll get better at these. These will get more polished. I won't ramble so much. I'll have a agenda. I'll have things kind of planned out, and maybe I won't be doing it on a webcam all the time either. This channel, just some things about this channel. I didn't plan on it being like this. I just ended up putting so much content up that I got attention. I get a lot of people who watch my videos, and it just was it was by accident that we kind of got to this. But Columbia, Maryland, not too far from DC. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, guys, I will end up having another one of these. I kind of went over all the stuff I had, and it wasn't really any video content. It's just talking about stuff. I'll figure out a day where I can do these. Saturday, obviously, when I'm not on vacation, I'm not going to be able to do something like this on a work day, but maybe a Sunday or maybe a Thursday, I'll do these. And once I get more new stuff coming, I'll be able to talk more about it. Next video, I am not sure because I don't have everything that I have coming is sitting at port waiting to be shipped. So at port, we have 51 cars. I've pretty much done videos of everything I have. We have a ton of 2020 Jettas, but I think I have a ton of 2020 Jetta videos up already. So I may not do many more of those. And most of those are going to be SELs and SEL premiums. So I don't really have a whole lot of inventory that I can do videos of and have it be kind of viable. Now that the 2020s are starting to roll in, we'll be able to do more stuff. And I'm also going to incorporate my kid Peyton in those. She likes doing them, and especially the SUVs. I can do more videos with her, so you can kind of spatially see what kind of things are, how things play out. Troy, I will tell you that 200,000 mile warranty, at least in St. Louis, every dealer does one of those here, but there's all so many gotchas and caveats to it where it doesn't really play that well. Ours is a nationwide 10-year, 200,000 mile warranty, and we do it through a third-party company. That's how it's nationwide. So you could be out of state somewhere and still have that warranty honored. The dealership that you go to for service, then they just call that company's 800 number and get an approval for whatever work. I mean, that's how it works for us. There's other dealers in town that offer what they call engines forever or engines for life, but they require you to do the oil change at their dealership. They require you to do them sooner or quicker than a manufacturer recommended oil change and things of that nature. So there's all kinds of gotchas and tricks there. So I don't know. We have we're a 20 dealership network where we have 20 different locations. So maybe that's why we're able to do that. Not every dealership has that kind of pipeline to go with, but it works for us, and it's how I get a lot of people from out of town. I've sold the car to a guy from Brooklyn, New York. I've talked to people from Connecticut and New Hampshire. I'm still talking to those people there. They're considering it. I've got someone who's going to be coming from Bakersfield. People from Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana, Kentucky, you name it. That got cars flying out of here to go there, or not flying out as in flying on a plane, but leaving and going there. So, I sell cars to anybody. I don't care where you live. You come, as long as you come here and sign all your documents, the dealership requires that. Hey, we get the deal, and we're the cheapest and largest in Missouri, largest dealer network, and we plan on staying that way. So with that, guys, I'm going to say adios. That's Spanish. I'm sorry if this was kind of corny. I hope it wasn't too boring. I'm going to wrap this up, but I will post when I have another one. It may be a little bit before I do another one. And I'm not sure when I'm going to do the next video. It depends on when they ship us the next hot car here. But thank you, Diranoni. You guys all have a great afternoon. Hopefully your weather's better than ours. The wind's blowing and it's windy outside. It went up from 32 to 72, and now it's supposed to drop back down to freezing tonight. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but you guys have a great afternoon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Well, Troy, what did you say here? Let's see. The dealerships here don't even offer it, but my next car will be through you. Yeah, awesome. So we'll keep in touch. You guys can always, you can always send me a text message or message me on the channel or anything of that nature. And if you feel like you want to donate something, you can, when you have these chats, you can do a super chat. And I'm actually working. My kid actually tells me I need to have merch. So I'm going to put merch up. She's designing some t-shirts for me. She's pretty artistic. And we'll see what happens with that. So thanks a lot, guys. Have a good afternoon, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.